Hey everybody, I'm Rob Childs, a Rapier swordsman out of the United States, and today's instructional video is really going to be more of a public service announcement. But before I dive into that, I'd like to show you some video footage and let's see if you can pick up on any patterns. So did you pick up on any patterns? If you were paying close enough attention, what you saw was a very common pattern of the dreaded dagger down parry with the riposte to the head and chest. This is a very common solution that I employ against a very commonly proposed problem by fencers all around the world. I will do this over and over and over again because the fencers that I am facing are making the exact same mistake over and over and over again. All of those exchanges that I just showed you are from a single tournament. But you could look at any tournament I have been at over the course of my fencing career, and you will see me do that exact same sequence no less than a dozen times. And the reason for it is because I keep getting the exact same problem from these fencers presented to me, and it's a problem with a very simple solution, but these fencers are not picking up on the mistake. So today, I'm going to talk to you about that mistake so we can avoid you making that in your fencing future. If you were paying particularly close attention, what you would have noticed in that stream of videos is that there were actually two patterns happening before your eyes. One is obviously, yes, how I was responding. Dagger down, riposte to the body. However, the other common pattern that you would have seen is exactly how my opponents were attacking me. Every single one of them did exactly the same thing. They put an all-or-nothing lunge, all of their hopes on this all-or-nothing lunge that was intended to try and race to the target and get there before any sort of defensive mechanism could be brought to bear on my part. The problem with that, of course, is that although it might be effective against those mid-level fencers and below, if you face a veteran fencer and above, what's going to happen is he's going to use that measure, he's going to use that distance, i.e. time, in order to make you eat steel. More often than not, that is exactly the outcome you're going to get. Now, because SoCal Sword Fight is only a matter of weeks away, this next piece is for all of my fellow rapier fencers who plan on attending. If you see that distance as I, a low guard fighter, I'm presenting my sword low and my dagger high. If that distance between the two weapons appears to be just a little bit wide, if it appears just a little too inviting, well, it's a trap. Yeah, it's a trap. So make sure you don't compound the mistake by putting everything you've got into an all or nothing lunge that's meant to try and race to the target. Because you're not dealing with a beginner fencer here. And if you're dealing with anybody of mid-range and above, then what's going to happen is more often than not, you're going to end up eating steel for your effort. In that stream of video that you saw there, every single one of those individuals threw everything they had into a running attack against me. Some of them did it with stepping, some of them did it with a full-on run, but either way, it was an all-or-nothing attack. And the problem with all-or-nothing attacks is that if you get parried, there's nothing left to defend you with, and you're going to end up eating steel as a result. Every single one of those fencers lost points because they made that very common, all of them the same, mistake. So the last piece of advice I will give you is this. An all-or-nothing attack is a synonym for no control. If you have no control while you're fencing, I guarantee you, you've already lost the fight. And if you're like me and you like to fence as much as possible from a martial perspective, think of it this way. If you put everything you've got into that all-or-nothing attack, and this was actually a duel for your life, you are gambling, and gambling relies upon luck. I guarantee you, back in the day, there was no such thing as a swordsman who made it to an old age by relying on luck. So I hope you found that information useful. As always, if you have any questions or you have any comments you'd like to make, by all means, please feel free to do so on the YouTube channel. And if you do have those questions, you can reach out to me through that YouTube channel. You can reach out to me on Facebook. I'm not difficult to get a hold of. For all of you Patreon subscribers out there, keep an eye on your inboxes because there's going to be a message soon about this particular topic. Only that video is going to talk to you about how you defeat, how you get past that person's presentation of the trap, so that way you can truly be a fencer who is able to take apart your opponent's defenses.